Welcome to Bum Life. I ride freight trains for the most part to get around the country, and I enjoy that lifestyle for the most part. But yeah, sometimes freight trains don't go everywhere, and sometimes you just get stuck places, and you really don't have any other option but to hitchhike, and it fucking sucks. Yeah, you're sitting there on the side of the road, sometimes for hours. Some people it takes days. I've had to hitch a few hours one day, then I'd go to sleep, have to hitchhike all day the fucking next day before somebody gives me a ride. So yeah, you're just sitting there with everybody fucking looking at you, just being judged and rejected by person after person after person after person. It gets very wearing. It's very disheartening feeling. Uh, Most of the people who pick up hitchhikers tends to be people who've hitchhiked themselves. Like old dudes used to hitchhike back in the '60s and '70s. They're like, "Oh, it used to be so easy. Put your thumb out for 5 minutes and get a ride." It ain't like that anymore. There's a handful of serial killers that wrecked it for everyone. Thanks a lot, Ted Bundy, fucking dick. So I understand people who are scared, especially women. I don't ever blame a woman for not picking me up. That's completely understandable. You know, just always surprising to me the number of women that do pick me up hitchhiking. And I've had like fucking moms with kids in their cars give me rides before. But then you just get passed by dudes in pickup trucks just driving alone. You're just like, what the fuck? You have a pickup truck. I can lay down in the back. You don't even have to fucking talk to me. What the fuck is your problem? Um, I feel like maybe it's not even fear. I think a lot of times it's not innately in somebody's personality. Like it just doesn't occur to them to pick up a hitchhiker. There's like, oh, a hitchhiker, and they just keep driving on. You know. So I feel like when I was a kid, I feel like my mom told me never to pick up hitchhikers. Like, yeah, it's dangerous. Don't ever pick up hitchhikers. So I feel like a lot of people were probably trained the same way. Hitchhikers are just inherently scary serial killers. But yeah, I just want a fucking ride. That's all I fucking want. Yeah, I'm not gonna hurt anyone. I'm just trying to get to where I'm trying to fucking get. And until somebody gives me a ride, I'm stuck here. I don't have a fucking choice. When people look at you, you really get the vibe that like they just really don't like you. They look at you and they're just like, you shouldn't be there on the side of the road. It's like, I'm sorry, but I really have no fucking choice right now until someone gives me a ride. Yeah, people assume truckers pick up hitchhikers. They don't. Truckers are not allowed to pick up hitchhikers. Their companies don't allow it. Maybe a few independent truckers can, but like even if a trucker wants to give you a ride, their company just won't allow it. You know, there's a lot of times it's like I see a truck. I don't even put my thumb out when I see a truck coming. I just like nod at them like, yeah. There's a lot of kinds of cars and stuff that like are not going to pick you up. Any kind of company vehicle, utility vehicle, like they're just not. They're not allowed to. They're on their way to a job or something. Yeah. Newer, fancier cars in general don't pick up hitchhikers. Big trucks with side mirrors, they don't pick up hitchhikers. Generally, if you get a ride, it's from like an older, trashier looking car. That's what you're looking for. You know, those are the kind of people that usually pick up hitchhikers. Poor working class people that understand. They've been there before. Like, they probably ran out of gas on the side of the road and had to hitchhike themselves, so they get it. Couples don't really ever pick up hitchhikers. Yeah, maybe even if one of them wants to, the other person's just like, no, absolutely not. Uh, yeah. I don't. really know why, but it seems like the majority of people driving on the highway are old rich couples. That's what they look like. Maybe not rich, but well off, you know. Old couple in their 60s or older in a nice newer car. They don't give a fuck about you. They just don't fucking care. It's like, where are all the younger people? You know, the working class people. Where the fuck are they? Like, they're probably the ones driving the fucking company cars that aren't fucking allowed to pick you up. Yeah, I've had people call the cops on me for hitchhiking before. And cops will be like, oh, you know, maybe they're just concerned about your safety or your well being. It's like, well, why don't they fucking stop and talk to me then? Yeah, they call you guys. And, yeah, the cops don't really want to do anything, but they have to because they got called. You know, so sometimes I get rides from the cops just to the next county over, just to get me down the road, and then I'm the next county sheriff's problem. You know. Yeah, we live in a world, at least a country. Most of the world is dependent upon vehicles, just the way everything is spaced apart. You know, you need a vehicle to go anywhere, unless you like live in the center of a town. And, you know, long distance like transit option, like Greyhound's a fucking joke, Amtrak's a fucking joke. They're expensive. The routes don't. There's a lot of dead zones in the fucking country. There's zero fucking public transportation. If you don't have a car and you live in bumfuck Wyoming, you're fucked. You know, cities used to be built along waterways and railroads. It was a lot easier to traverse from town to town because you jump in a boat, jump on the train, whatever. You know, where populations are spaced, you know, like 10 miles apart. You can walk that if you had to. You know, like I've walked like 16 miles and 20 miles before just because I know that, you know, 7 hours of walking is probably going to be faster than sitting there waiting for a ride that may or may not ever come. I've gotten a lot more patient in waiting for trains, though. I've decided that I'd rather camp out, sit around the train tracks for a fucking week than have to fucking sit on the side of the road hitchhiking, being rejected for days. One day in fucking 5 hours. It's fucking horrible. So I hate it when people try to like gesture excuses to me. They're like, oh, which means not enough space in their car. Or when they're just like point in the direction that they're going in, which I assume that means they're just gonna be like turning off on some road up ahead soon. Or the people that give me the thumbs up, that really kind of pisses me off. It's like, I see you. Good luck. Like, thanks, asshole. So if you see me hitchhiking on the side of the road, I'd prefer that you just not look at me at all. Don't try to make up excuses. Yeah, so I think hitchhiking is kind of a representation of society overall. You have a lot of scared, ignorant, stupid people who don't give a fuck about you. And then you have a very small minority of very kind hearted and compassionate people. That's kind of the society that we live in.